What's up, everybody? It's your 5-star realtor Joshua Ingram, partnered with Page Properties Team, brokered by EXP. We're on another episode, the Dream Builders Podcast, with our special guest, Shirlenia Daniels. How you doing today?
I'm awesome. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. She is a veteran, first lady and co-author, and a future councilwoman. She's running for councilwoman in the Pooler area. And I cannot forget my partner and co-host, Bradford Page, with Page Properties Team.
Hey.
How you doing? How you doing?
Great.
So, Miss Shirlenia, I just have a quick question. First, I really want to talk about the book. So, as a co-author of a Christian book called Bread of Life Ministry, how do you think the principle of faith empowers others and helping them with their goals?
Well, one thing about it is the book was written like a devotional.
Okay.
And it teaches you how to meditate on the word. So you think about faith. And one of my favorite scriptures is, now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Oh, wow.
The evidence of things not seen. And so it takes us off of the ability to worry about things that we know that we're heading towards.
Yeah.
And it causes us to redirect our focus into that specific mission or goal that we have set before us. So being an author of that helps us to stay rooted and grounded in our faith, knowing that our faith can get us to anything in life that we're challenged with.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, as you said that you was in the military, when did you serve in the military?
I actually was enlisted in the military in 1993.
Okay.
And then I was commissioned as an officer for transportation logistics in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And retired as a company commander in 2013.
Awesome, awesome. And did you also do that while you was a city planner?
Actually, no.
Okay.
So once we retired, my husband let me know that we were not going back to our destination that we had just came from and actually built a house. And he was like, we're staying in Pooler. And I was like, what do you mean we're staying in Pooler? We were scheduled to go back. Again, we had just built a dream house and we were like, this is it. We're going to live in Virginia. But for whatever reason, he decided that the Lord had put it on his heart to stay in Pooler. And it took me a year to realize that this was really happening. And for our children, they enjoyed Georgia. Georgia began to grow on them. And it was the first place that we had been in a stable environment for more than 2 to 3 years.
Were you both in the military then? No.
Yes, he was in the military for a few years. And then he was also a meat manager.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so he was like, oh, we're staying in Pooler. We're not going back. And I was just like, Lord, this cannot be. And one morning I woke up and I remember the Lord saying to me, this is the land flowing with milk and honey.
Yeah.
So that let me know that it was prosperity in the area, that what I saw was not the end result, and that I had a lot to look forward to.
Awesome.
How long have you been here now?
So I was given orders to come here in 2010. My assignment was over, like I said, in 2013. The ministry started in 2011, so the ministry kind of was the end state of me coming out of the military into ministry. And then later, 2020 is actually when I became the Planning and Zoning Commissioner.
It's amazing how many military folks we have come either Hunter or Stewart.
Yes.
And then either stand or after their last duty station come back.
Yeah.
And that's been a big part of the growth here in our area.
Yes, and you will definitely see more of that.
For sure, for sure. So my next question for you, in your own opinion, what roles does effective communication play in both your councilwoman responsibilities and your efforts to educate the community about achieving their goals? We have good questions on this show, everybody.
Effective communication. Well, I find that effective communication is not just what you're saying, but it's also what you're doing. And the biggest thing about effective communication is how you're able to listen to other people. Because sometimes our upbringing, our ethnic background, or some things that we've been rooted in will cause us to hear people differently. So a big thing for me is give people the benefit of the doubt and really listen to what they're saying. And if we don't know, ask questions.
Yeah, ask the right questions.
Never assume that we have a person all figured out, because we'll tend to miss out on who they really are authentically. So that's a big thing, listening. more
Listening. Okay, that's
Yes.
a great answer. Great answer. Another question I have for you. I know we're asking questions on the show.
Yes.
Would be, can you share a memorable example of a community initiative you have been involved in that educate and empower people in the community?
Oh, wow. I would say feeding homeless people
Oh,
or
wow.
feeding people that are hungry. I didn't realize how many people in the United States are affected with not having proper food, which it could debilitate who we are, debilitate how we think, and debilitate how we are able to meet goals. So being in a predicament as a young child that did not have enough food in the house, I realized later that it was a goal for me to feed people that were in need, regardless of what happened to them. Why are they needing food? What circumstances are they faced with? So that effort in just building in the community let me realize that once you feed them, then they're willing to listen to what you have to say.
Yes.
So whether it's spiritual information or education, whether it's, okay, how do we leave homelessness and find you a place to stay? Do you want a temporary place or do you want a permanent place? So I believe that just meeting people where they are.
Yeah, it's hard to move to a higher level of thinking or communication if
Yeah.
you're hungry.
That's right.
Or you're tired, or
That's
you're
right.
or stressed out, or whatever the case may be.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, that's important.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I got one more question for you. What steps do you think the community needs to take to foster an environment where everyone has equal access to educational resources and support in the community?
A lot of times these days, I feel like people are looking at what's in it for me. As real leaders, as even going through the military, we always thought I had to police up myself. I had to do this for myself. But the more that I went up in rank, the more responsibility that I was given. And with the responsibility, I realized that I had to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
And so then you stop looking at yourself and you start taking care of other people. A lot of times, not just that soldier we took care of, we made sure that their family was taken care of, their children, their spouse, whatever it was. So being that as put in an environment like that, I feel like as a leader, to have an opportunity to do great things, if I can go to a person and say, what is it that I can do for you? Then I am staying grounded, I'm staying focused in whatever it is that I have to give to the community.
That's awesome.
And so that's how I think about everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, Ms.
Yeah.
Daniels, how can the people get in touch with you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, of course. I am running for Pooler City Council. And so you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me also on my webpage, elect Shirlenia Daniel for Pooler City Council. And
Say that one more time.
elect Shirlenia Daniel for Pooler City Council. You can find me at Bread of Life Ministry. A lot of times we have, at least once a month, we're out in the community. If it's not just our initiative, we're always helping somebody that has something going on. You'll find me in the grocery store. I meet strangers every day, but if somebody has a need and I can help, I don't mind helping. You'll find me anywhere in Pooler, and you'll also find me in City Hall.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
before we wrap up,
Okay.
a quick go
Yeah.
down this road a little bit. What drives you? Certainly, I know it's not the income to become a councilwoman. What is the driving force that makes you want to take on that position? What do you hope to accomplish?
Well, again, serving the community. I found that serving the community, it landed me in City Hall. I think that in life we'll go through phases. I've always been a servant leader, so feeding the community was not enough. Well, I need to talk to somebody that has money, that has bigger and brighter ideas than I do, and you just kind of progress from there. So I found that the more that we stayed in the community, the more that we saw there was a need. If you're ambitious about what you're doing, you're not going to be settled with just feeding people. Okay, well, how do I solve the problem that the problem we're facing is homelessness? How do I get in positions that can do more than what I'm doing now? And so that driving force is, I think, what drove me to City Hall. And so even though I was going to City Hall to look for answers, sometimes you can go look for answers, but if you're not willing to be the solution, then those answers will never get resolved.
What is your vision of the biggest challenge for Pooler right now?
Pooler, I see that a lot of people are coming into Pooler because everybody wants to raise a family. everybody wants to be in a job that makes good paying money. It's a proven fact that we have 30,000 something people in Pooler, but you have 60,000 people that travel every day just to come to Pooler to work. So it tells us that there's potential, there's a better lifestyle in Pooler. And not just saying Pooler is the only place, but it's a place that's rapidly growing.
Cooler, some people say cooler is cooler.
Cooler is cooler where it's
Although-
cooler.
although
Cooler where it's
still pretty
cooler.
hot- It's still pretty hot out there.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's
It
hot.
is.
It's hot.
It is. I say it's the land floor with milk and honey,
Yeah.
meaning that there's potentials and opportunity every day. And it's just a matter of you deciding what is it that Pooler can give you and then just sticking to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Shirlenia. Again, this is the Dream Builders podcast, where our mission is to help buyers, sellers, and agents of small businesses
Yes.
connect to the resources and knowledge to achieve their goals. Again, this podcast is sponsored by Page Properties Team, the Dream ENT, Real Estate for a Reason, make real estate fun again. Thank y'all so much for coming on the show with Miss Shirlenia Daniel, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Y'all be blessed. Peace.
Awesome. Be blessed.